Imagine a mountain so well guarded by walls of ice and rock, no one could even reach its base. That was Nanda Devi. The Kumaon Himalaya reminded every mountaineer of the Alps, with valleys that offered access to glaciers and peaks, and a hardy peasantry willing to guide and carry loads. Yet, despite a century of exploration, only Trisul and Kamet had been climbed, and the highest peak in British territory, Nanda Devi at 25,745 feet, remained untouched. The mountain was encircled by a vast ring of peaks, rising to over 21,000 feet, broken only by the gorge of the Rishi Ganga, which drained the snows of Nanda Devi through sheer cliffs. 9 expeditions tried to penetrate this natural fortress, but none reached the mountain itself. The first attempt came in 1883, when W. W. Graham and 2 Swiss guides tried to force the Rishi Ganga Gorge. After struggling with the lower section, they diverted north on a goat track, but were soon stopped again. In 1905, Dr. T. G. Longstaff, with the Brocherel brothers, attacked from the east by the Lwan Gorge. They established a camp on the southeast ridge of Nanda Devi East at 19,000 feet, and saw the southern face and glacier of the inner sanctuary, but concluded that porters could never manage such a pass. In 1907, Longstaff returned with General Bruce, the Brocherels, and Gurkhas, making the only recorded crossing of the barrier via the Bagghini Pass at 2,100 feet. Instead of leading them to Nanda Devi's northern face, as maps suggested, the route forced them southwest, cutting off the view of the mountain. Longstaff then climbed Trisul before attempting to force the Rishi Ganga's upper gorge. He was stopped less than 2 miles from the source by vertical cliffs. That year, he also tried from the south via the Nandagini and Sundonga valleys, but monsoon rains and leeches drove him back. 2 decades later, in 1926, Colonel Wilson, Dr. Somerville, and Hugh Rutledge tried via the Thimphu Glacier to the northeast. They believed future parties might succeed by reconnoitering the left bank or trying the Chakram and Mangrau glaciers from Milam. In 1927, Longstaff returned with Rutledge and his wife, climbing to the rim above the Rishi Ganga and finding a possible pass, but bad weather forced them back. During his years in Kumaon, Rutledge studied the Sundonga coal from afar and believed it might offer the most direct route. In 1932, after retirement, he returned with Emile Ray of Courmayeur and 6 Sherpas, supported by local porters. By May 24th, they had reached Maitoli under the barrier wall. The Sundonga face, however, proved formidable. The western side was guarded by a huge ice terrace that shed constant avalanches, while the eastern side presented 3 sheer ridges with no room for tents and couloirs swept by falling ice. Ray studied the face for hours, but abandoned it, declaring it impossible for Sherpas and dangerous even for 2 climbers. The expedition turned to an alternative, a 21,624-foot peak above the Pindari Glacier. Battling bad weather, they reached 7,500 feet under its east ridge. Ray, unacclimatized, suffered severe headaches, while only 2 Sherpas could climb further, none carrying loads. They pushed to the ridge, enjoyed 10 minutes of clear views of both summits of Nanda Devi, then endured a hazardous descent. The weather in 1932 was unusually poor, with fresh snow over rotten ice, and their efforts ended in disappointment. Despite repeated failures, Rutledge believed entry into the Nanda Devi sanctuary remained possible. The Sundonga route seemed hopeless, exposed to monsoon storms and dangers of avalanches, but the Rishi Ganga Gorge might yield to patience and skill, while the glaciers near Milam offered another chance. He concluded that no access would ever be easy and that retreat lines were essential, for storms could trap climbers fatally. As for Nanda Devi herself, those who saw her agreed the mountain would resist all but a party of exceptional strength and determination, perhaps up the southwest shoulder, if careful reconnaissance revealed a way.